Well, strange game. I thought the execution in the first half was superb. We got Brent Forbes shot after shot after shot. The poor kid just didn't make them. They were wide open shots. Thought we did a good job there. I worry when I change the lineup, I either put in a team that can score and can't defend. I guess this is the first team that shot over 50%. We picked a bad time. We've been shooting 75 from the line. We go 12 of 21. That was a killer. And probably the biggest killer is when we had a 5-point lead and we just made some incredibly different decisions. And so once again, you got to play good enough, play hard enough, execute well enough, and play smart enough. And, those of you watching would say, well, we didn't foul a lot today, so maybe we got that because we didn't foul because we just said Olay. We just let them drive right to the basket. So I got to find a happy medium in there. But I swear to God, we got some good shots. We just missed some good shots, and give them credit. They drove and drove and drove and drove and drove and drove and drove. And couldn't make a free throw. We couldn't execute. I thought we got a good shot at the end, and just didn't make it. So questions.
Tom, Britton does not look like a confident player out there in a shot. Is that what you see? It's just a matter of confidence and how to do it?
I mean, he just had 20, in a half a week ago. I mean, I did see that. I don't know why. I mean, he had good shots. I mean, I'd give Bryn those shots every day of the week, and nobody feels worse about it than him. I mean, there are shots that he makes. Those are the best shots he's had early on. We executed right off the jump ball. We executed pretty well, and then when shots didn't go our way, we didn't guard as well. And they got some fast break buckets too. But I don't think it's his confidence in his shooting. I mean, he's always confident, and he just. He's not the strongest guy, so I think defensively he struggled a little bit, but he had good shots. For him to go 1 for 8 with those shots, I mean, if they were attacking him, that'd be different, but I thought he had some shots.
I don't know about your team. You've lost 3 in a row before. It's recoverable at this stage in the season. Is your team's confidence fragile at all right now?
Fred, I've known you for a lot of years. That's one of the dumber questions you ever asked me, and I don't mean that ignorantly, but of course not. Of course my team's not feeling comfortable right now. I mean, if you lost 3 in a row in a baseball game, you wouldn't feel comfortable. And I don't mean that as harsh as it sounds, but look we've gone through a lot with this team. I get so many letters on why you play Tom. Well, nice to have him tonight. We just can't guard the things we need to guard. But no, we feel we're reeling. But you're right, we have reeled before. I mean, we're 16-4, and I said that when we were 16-3. We're not throwing in the towel. I mean, last 2 games, if you ask me, and I give and please, Nebraska people here, they did a hell of a job. Good coach, good team, but we were up, and I thought started to. And then we just didn't play smart enough. And we didn't play smart enough at Wisconsin, and calls went against us there and tough calls here. And we didn't play smart enough and we lost. But, we did execute. We did do some positive things. We did some things that I think are going to benefit us. It's hard to keep changing the lineup. And don't even ask me why I do it. I don't have a choice right now. So it's hard to do that and let everybody be comfortable. I mean, Zell. He played okay, but moving from the 2 guard to the point guard and have to guard different people is a tough deal. So haven't lost the team, haven't lost the locker room. Nobody's upset about this and that. We just got to get more guys playing a little bit better and maybe a little bit more smarter.
Tempering those emotions to make sure your team doesn't get too low? And can you comment on what Siobhan Shields was able to do today?
Well, I think this is the fourth guy that has, we got some issues where, you hope Schilling would be the guy that can cover a guy like that. He just struggled so much catching the ball on the offensive end. Hasn't really regained himself. So we put Didi on him, and, he didn't do a bad job the first half. The second half, they just drove him to death, and, I think that's my fault. I mean, we shouldn't have him on him, but we're just lacking in we needed him in there because we thought we could score in there, and we could have. We didn't get him the ball enough on the right side of the court, but, I mean, he still has 13.7 rebounds and misses a whole bunch of free throws. I mean, we had three guys that went 3 for 6 from the line. In fact, I think Costello went 2 for 5, 3 for 6, whatever. He's an 80-some% free throw shooter. So, listen, in my career, I've been through a hell of a lot more than this. I'm just disappointed that we would lose games cerebrally, especially some of the guys involved in it. Right now, I shouldn't be doing that, but we're just going to have to find a way to bounce back now, get a big game at home on Saturday.
Tom, over here. They've won now 3 in a row against you, almost 3 years since you beat them. I'm just curious, what is it about Miles' style?
Better coached, really. I'm not being facetious. His team didn't make mistakes. His team drove to the basket and took advantage of the rules. Mine didn't. So he did a damn good job. Miles is a good coach, and you know what? Don't blame my players. Blame me. And I'm not trying to. I'm the one that's got to get them to play. I mean, somebody shoots 50% in our house. That never happened. I'm not sure that happened when we lost 3 in a row before. So you know what? We're going through a little midlife crisis here, and we're going to find a way to get out of it.
Well, they had the possession. They were up 2, and I believe it was Shields scored over Valentine. Was that a switch to Valentine on that possession? Or just a switch in the possession?
Yeah, they just drove it and just jumped in. They had to throw it over him. I mean, it was. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, there were some things that were hard, but we switched with Denzel. I mean, he's our best defender, and give Shields credit. I mean, he's averaging 13, he gets 28. Jock's averaging, 13, he gets 27. Giles averaging 13, he gets 25. Hayes is averaging 13, he gets, Koenig, he gets 27. Right now we're missing that lockdown defender. And for the most part, depending who we put him on, it's been Tom, and we just are missing that lockdown guy right now. And I'm playing Zell a lot of minutes, so he's probably tiring a little bit too.
I want to ask you too. I know Bess is that before when you're going
Yeah.
on, you had
Yeah.
Is there any thought about using Marvin Clark?
No.
Those minutes?
No.
Follow up what Joe said. I know you said don't question about the lineups, but you wanted to shorten the bench. Is this now your new shortened bench?
No, it wasn't the shortening of the bench guys. It's moving guys. I mean, we just didn't think McQuaid could run our break as good. And so, we put Denzel in there, and we thought we'd have our 3 best perimeter guys out there. And it's probably our 3 best offensive guys, but it might not be our 3 best defensive guys. And but guys, I mean, you've watched Brent Forbes, some of you, since high school. I mean, he had good shots. He won't miss those shots again. I feel sorry for that kid. He's hurting more than anybody because he knows those are shots he could and should have made. And that's what you got to do. I mean, a shooter's got to make shots. A rebounder got to get rebounders. What we don't have right now is a lockdown defender. I was hoping Schilling could be that guy, but I don't know. So I'm not trying to shorten my bench or lengthen it. I'm just trying to play who I can play. Marv struggled in the last game on some things, and he's going to have to earn himself back in there. JB had done it the other way, and Jesus, in every day working on his free throws, and the poor kid missed them. It's just the way it was. But when you got a lead, you got to take care of the ball. You can't make bad decisions, and we did. And when that happens, that lead went from 4 or 5 up to 6 or 7 down like that. And when those things happen, we got to be smarter than that. And that's going to fall on my shoulders. So Other questions?
Is one of those Valentine trying to go back around his back to Harris on the left wing there kind of late?
We just made some poor decisions. Not one guy, bunch of guys, some guys. We just made some poor decisions. Yeah, he rolled his ankle, and now we couldn't put him back in, and then we tried at the very end, and he just couldn't move. And Didi actually did some good things, but he just doesn't understand when he's a help guy, he's got to block some of those shots in there. He was too worried about his man, who was, for the most part, a non-scorer. The guy was 0 for 2, and he was guarding him like a glove, but we needed him to be the help man, and so that's part of growing. He'll get better at that.
Let me try this one. These guys keep having career games against you. You were talking about that for a while. Is that kind of life on top also, and the people that want to win so badly at wrestling?
Oh, I think there's definitely truth to that. I mean, there's blood in the water right now, so the Sharks are coming. We're going to have blood in the water the other way, That's kind of what you got to do, and I don't think there's any question, but I think part of it is not having that lockdown guy, to put on somebody to cool him off for a little bit, and I really can't afford to do Zell. We're so afraid of getting him in foul trouble, so afraid. And especially when he got that foolish one on the first one on there. I mean, the guy was 0 for 2. I don't know if he could make a shot. And we foul him. And that's a tough start, because then he gets a little reserved. And hey, we did some good things, guys. We just didn't make some shots. We didn't make some free throws, and we gave up too many layups. So.
You talked about putting this on you. Do you feel like you know how to reach this team?
Yeah. It's a very good team, and really a lot of good guys. But everybody's pressing a little bit, And when you make some of those plays that you just shouldn't make, we get back in the game, and I got to learn now that I got to call a timeout when a couple. You hate to break a run, but you don't want the run to turn into. We're just going to have to do a better job as a staff. I mean, hell yeah, I know how to get to this team, and this team will bounce back. But it's been shaken. There's no question about it. It should be shaken. We lost, in my mind, 2 games. I mean, Wisconsin, hands down, we should have won this one. They probably outplayed us more, but we still had that lead and a chance. And the crowd was so good. They tried so hard. My apologies to every single one of them, because that might have been the loudest, lengthiest pick-me-upper that I've heard since I've been in Breslin, and that's 25 years or whatever. And they were unbelievable, and we didn't answer the bell. So we're going to do a better job for them, hopefully, on game day.
Anything else? All right.
Thanks.